Good evening.
This is very, very cool. Thank you to the Bird Room for having me tonight. I swear I don't know why I'm leaving for Tennessee. Is it the land or the river that's always calling me? Deep cold water couldn't dream to keep me down. I swear I don't know who I'm supposed to be. I hear voices in my head, they come when I sleep. Paralyzed in bed, can't get up on my feet. They say you can't make it, roll over in defeat. I close my eyes, say goodnight and just hope they leave. I packed my bag, slammed the door, and you watched me leave. Is it the whiskey or the women that's always calling me? And I swear I don't know why I left for Tennessee. You brought me up, but something's just calling me. A cherry stain on your sundress, you wore it just for me. I look surprised, you roll your eyes and we just eat. I swear I don't know why I left for Tennessee. It's a long way down to our Georgia town, and I'm baking in this heat. Thank you, thank you. That was a song I wrote called Going to Tennessee. And this next one will be a Justin Townes Earle song called When We're Not in Brooklyn. Tired of laying in bed, listening to the water run. Ceiling's falling in, baby's dress is covered in dust. And I don't care what it costs. Honey, dust that old thing off. It's one more night in Brooklyn, baby, we're getting lost. And I ain't taking you home, found a little place that'll do. It'll never match the beauty of a Tennessee spring, but it's something new. Let them say what they'll say, I'll find a way, we'll make it pay. It's one more night in Brooklyn, baby, that's all I can take. And I'm tired of waiting on you, waiting on a train. Tired of your late night calls with the same old complaints. So you pack up your bags and start looking west, but tonight we're ordering in, making damn sure we don't leave nothing behind. Baby, put your hands on me, Let's get real high and just go to sleep. It's one more night in Brooklyn, baby, it's just you and me. One more night. Thank you. That was One More Night in Brooklyn off the Harlem River Blues album by Justin Townes Earle. I've got 2 songs on Spotify, and this is one of them. This one's called Kennedy. It's about my wife being in law school, and she graduates next Saturday. So woo woo. She worries it sounds like I hate her, but really the whole point of this song is I worked one line in about my dog being terrible, and we've got a beagle, and I thought they were really good dogs until I got one. They're really not obedient, but it's not even a good line about the dog, but I really like it. But this one's called Kennedy. She wishes she was a Kennedy. What would that make me? Georgia's green even on the silver screen. We're a long way from who we used to be. A dog's no good even on a rainy day, but you'll still keep him around. Little smiles fade back down to a frown. No matter what they say, and I feel alone whenever she's not home. Flat on my back by the railroad tracks, I call her on my phone. She wishes she was a Kennedy. She can't sleep with a single light on. And I wonder where that would leave room for me. And if my hair would still be long. And I feel alone whenever she's not home. Flat on my back by the railroad tracks, I call her on my phone. Truth of the matter is it's just a guess, and the years have all been the best. If it was up to me, I'd make her a Kennedy. To hell with all the rest. And I feel alone whenever she's not home. Flat on my back by the railroad tracks, I call her on my phone. Thank you, thank you. So that one was Kennedy. You can find it on Spotify or iTunes and I think YouTube and some other things. This next one is one I wrote called Lucy. I'm working on a little EP. It's going to be out probably the next month or so. But I actually wrote this one about, if anybody's familiar with To Pimp a Butterfly, the Kendrick Lamar album, he raps about Lucy throughout that album, and I wanted this to be about the same Lucy. So I'm going to rap on this one. You start getting slower and you toss and turn in your sleep. Medicine and madness and you're tucked in tight with the sheets. Up with ghost stories you heard when you were a kid. None of them changing all the things that you did. Lucy, what are you doing to me? It's cold outside and it's not right. Used to think that you would agree. My starter started dragging, so I got up and started feeling down. Just another broke boy in this beat up and chewed up town. Living the stories you heard when you were a kid. Never once thinking you'd grow up to be like them. Lucy, what are you doing to me? It's cold outside and it's not right. Used to think that you would agree. Well, I scrapped the pickup and pickup and moved away. I thought it'd be better to not hear what they had to say. Hoped I wouldn't have to tell her, but now I'm writing this letter. Lucy, you're gonna have to bury me. It's cold outside and it's not right. Used to think that you would agree. Lucy, you're gonna have to bury me. It's cold outside and it's not right. Sorry that you won't agree. Thank you. This next one's a song about a trip to Asheville Sierra and I took a couple years ago and got snowed in. It was in January. It was her birthday weekend, and we got snowed in and stuck in our yurt. And it was really, really stressful because we just had leftover sushi from the night before and did not prepare to be snowed in. This song's called Asheville Nights. A long way up that gravel road, we hadn't seen a car in miles. It started to sleet and we felt that we picked a bad time for Carolina. Snow-covered mountains and hills, that's just how winter goes. You gamble with nature and sometimes she makes you cold. How many more of these Asheville nights? Snow's gotta melt sometime. We can't even leave our Airbnb, but we could if the sun would shine. Our room wasn't much more than a tent with a half a dozen heaters. Leftover sushi and Pepsi, our meal was completed. A special weekend for my darling Aquarius. Snowed in on her birthday trip, isn't that hilarious? The snow bit our feet as we ran into the hot tub. But all I ever needed was that girl to love. How many more of these Asheville nights? Snow's gotta melt sometime. We can't even leave our Airbnb, but we could if the sun would shine. How many more of these Asheville nights? Snow's gotta melt sometime. We can't even leave our Airbnb, but we could if the sun would shine. Thank you, thank you. What's next? That was Asheville Nights. That'll be on the little EP I'm working on. I'm from Pickens County, and for anybody who doesn't know, Pickens County is the marble capital of Georgia. LJ has their apples, we have our marble. But the marble from Pickens County has actually been used on like the Lincoln Memorial, other big things that I'm not thinking of right now. The Tate House, of course. But I've had a lot of family work for Georgia Marble, and I wrote this song about basically life when you're working at Georgia Marble, because I've seen how rough it is on some family members. Probably not all this, just the work. There's probably other factors, choices made. But this song's called Marble Plant. Red Georgia clay is staining your shoes. Dropped out of school and you don't know what to do. Maybe get a job at the marble plant. See if you can break your back as a young man. Broke his wrist at 17, then again at 21. Bought himself a house, put a dog on the lawn. Got into trouble for having too much fun. Boys, fast cars, and no headlights on. Well, it's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. It's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. Fell in love with a girl and he thought she was the one. Started drinking heavy and his chores went undone. Came home one night and her suitcase was packed and gone. Move the dog in the house and dishes are stacked. He's gotten real lonely since his uncle's heart attack. He goes to work, comes home and goes straight to bed. Replays memories every night in his head. Well, it's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. It's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. Well, it's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. It's hard to be a marble plant man all alone. It's hard to see with no one to leave the porch light on. Thank you, thank you. Autumn sings every night. The evenings at the park or the pier after dark. And I miss her when she's not around. in the summer with the windows down. We've all got habits we need to break, like the pills you pop when your back aches. Her mama moved to a New England town. She smokes at night in her nightgown. Working hard and looking rough. Makes the skin on your hands get real tough. But if the water ever dried up, I'd still fill your coffee cup. A dozen or 100, what difference does it make? There's distance more than miles in this case. Her daddy took the boys and he moved upstate. Autumn sits alone on the beach real late. Autumn don't swim in the pool because she hates the way chlorine makes her hair smell. She'll have to shower to make it go away. It sounds so pretty when the waves break. I love to hear you say my name, and the butchered French when you sing. In autumn you're all I've got left. There's nowhere for me to send a postcard to. Sounds so pretty when the waves break. Sounds so pretty when the waves break. Working hard and looking rough makes the skin on your hands get real tough. But if the water ever dried up, and I'd still fill your coffee cup. Sounds so pretty when the waves break. Sounds so pretty when the waves break. Sounds so pretty when the waves break. Thank you. That one was called Autumn Sings. I'm going to do two more, and I'm going to get down from here. This next song, I like to play this in a listening room type environment because I usually play it at New York Pizza in Jasper or any other brewery in the North Georgia area. And it's never the vibe. I always say it's the saddest song of the evening, but it's one of my favorite John Prine songs. I like to say it's about older people. It's not about old people. It's about older people. But this is a John Prine song called Hello in There. We had an apartment in the city. Me and Roletta like living there. It'd been years since the kids had grown a life of their own and left us alone. John and Linda live in Omaha. Joe is somewhere on the road. We lost Davy in the Korean War, and I still don't know what for. Don't matter anymore. You know that old trees just grow stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. Old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. Me and Roletta, we don't talk much more. She sits and stares through the back door screen, and all the news just repeats itself like some forgotten dream that we both seen. Someday I'll go and call up Rudy. We work together at the factory. What could I say if he asked what's new? Nothing, what's with you? Nothing much to do. You know that old trees just grow stronger, and old rivers grow wilder every day. And old people just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. So if you're walking down the street sometime and spot some hollow ancient eyes, please just don't pass them by and stare as if you didn't care. Say hello in there. Hello. Thank you. That was a John Prine song called Hello in There. I think off his first album. I think it was on that. He was very young when he wrote that song. This will be my last one. This is my other song I have on Spotify. It's called Things People Do. I wrote this song because I listened to a podcast about the relationship between Dennis Wilson and Charles Manson. if anybody's not familiar with that, or if anybody is familiar with that, more like, basically, Dennis Wilson let these two women stay in his house. He came home one night and they had let Charles Manson into the house, and he thought Charles Manson was really cool and thought he was like a Jesus type figure and like kissed his feet and stuff. Oh, because Charles Manson kissed his feet. Yeah. And so Dennis Wilson thought he was really cool, and I just thought about how bad Dennis Wilson's judge of character must have been. So that was the whole reason I wrote this song. But this is called The Things People Do. I judge a character like Dennis Wilson. I will never see it through. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. I put my money in a tote that's on my back. No torn catalog in a rabbit trap. My baby's gonna help me preach the word. Now the nights are getting longer, and I cannot see when I get off work. My baby's gonna tell me all the things y'all say that make her hurt. I judge a character like Dennis Wilson. I will never see it through. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. Now the nights are getting colder, and I need the warmth of my brother bird. Baby says it's gonna kill me, but baby, only if it had the nerve. I put my money in a tote that's on my back. No torn catalog in a rabbit trap. My baby's gonna help me preach the word. I judge a character like Dennis Wilson. I will never see it through. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. And I wonder if you hear me. Do you even know I'm talking to you? Tell me I'm looking sickly. A dog locked in a box is gonna gnaw at you. There's broken bottles in that Cadillac, and tuxedo black don't look a thing like blue. People always romanticize the things they do. I judge a character like Dennis Wilson. I will never see it through. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. I judge a character like Dennis Wilson. I will never see it through. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. Some folks wouldn't believe the things people do. Some Folks wouldn't believe the things people do. Thank you, thank you. My name is Andy Thacker. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for having me. Thank you, Bird Room.